We've seen about a decade's worth of gun control measures failed and stalled in Congress across multiple administrations. But we do know that the vast majority of Americans support things like universal background checks. We've seen candidates run on platforms that are dedicated to gun reform, and they've won. Candidates like Lucy McBath, a Democratic congresswoman from Georgia who got into politics after her son Jordan was shot and killed by a white man who was angry about the music that he was playing back in 2012. McBath became a gun control activist after her son's murder. In 2018, after the Parkland shootings in Florida, she ran for Congress, and she won, flipping a seat that was historically held by Republicans. Last night, she won her primary for re-election. She sponsored 2 bills that passed the House that would have expanded background checks and closed some loopholes. But when we have a Senate that hasn't even taken up those bills, what can Congress do? How do we make that sort of change happen? Lucy McBath joins me now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate having you here, Congresswoman. Yesterday, when you addressed your supporters after winning your primary, you spoke about the shooting right here at the school that I'm at, Robb Elementary, and you said, I'm going to quote you, you said, "We cannot be the only nation where one party sits on its hands as children are forced to cover their faces in fear." How do you convince Republicans in the South? I'm not going to say how do you convince people of that, because you don't actually have to convince people of that. The American people are on the side of tighter gun legislation. But how do you convince Republicans, particularly in the Senate, to understand that and act on it?
Well, last week we were having these very same discussions about the lives that were lost in Buffalo, New York. I actually have family that live in that community. We just cannot afford these shootings to circulate in and out of our national dialogue, only to be forgotten before the next tragedy. These horrific acts of violence, they're just going to continue to persist with despicable frequency if we do not have the courage to stand up for our communities. And we've just got to continue to take immediate action. My colleagues in Washington, yes, we have to continue to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to take, immediate action and just vote on measures to protect our communities and children, like the red flag bill that I have introduced in Congress and many other pieces of legislation that we're going to have to introduce. But in particular, the red flag bill that I've sponsored, it's already been passed out of the Judiciary Committee. Leader Hoyer has already said that we're going to be taking this legislation up on the floor in the coming week when we get back to Washington. And we've got to pass this legislation and many more pieces of legislation because people's lives are literally depending on these policies.
So let me ask you about that, because the red flag law is, these laws are, in states at least, they do get some bipartisan support because they are no-brainers, right? If somebody is a threat and has done things that would demonstrate that they might be a threat, this is overwhelmingly, by the way, toward women by their spouses, their husbands, their partners. But it's easy for people to identify that. It's not without due process. A court has to, or a judge has to hear it. It makes sense.
Absolutely. We know that the states that have actually passed this legislation, such as Florida, after the Parkland tragedy, we recognize statistically that those homicide rates, they go down drastically. We know that in the states that have red flag laws, there are decreased numbers of, homicides and murders. We know that these laws work, and that's the reason why it's so important that we take forth this policy, that we make sure that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that our communities, our families, and our children are safe.
Congressman, I'm just showing our viewers right now. There's just a stream of people who keep coming in to this school and laying wreaths on the ground. There are balloons, there are things like that. I talked about one of the young girls who died and how she liked playing with Play-Doh. These are children. How do you have a unique voice in this? You, like the Parkland students, went and took your grief and the tragedy and did something with it. What do you say to the parents of these children who have been killed here? What a devastating thing to lose 8, 9, 10-year-old children.
Well, Ali, these are very, very kind of difficult moments that are so devastating for the families, so devastating for those that are left behind to pick up the pieces. And what I want to say is that, I know that thoughts and prayers are not enough. I know they are not enough. And I know that, our families continue to hear this over and over again. But I want to assure them that there are just an army of volunteers and grassroots movement organizers, Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, all of the gun safety groups, my colleagues and I on the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force in Washington. We are moving, we are acting, because I understand what it is like to lose a child. I understand what it feels like, those moments after, the horrific moments when you recognize that your child is gone, and just for some of the most unnecessary reasons. And that I want them to understand and know we will not rest. I will not rest. I will do everything in my power, as many of my colleagues will do, to make sure that no one suffers unnecessarily, because this is just horrific. It is a public health crisis, and it must be dealt with.
Congresswoman McMath, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for what you're doing in this battle. I'm going to leave my viewers with a shot of somebody who's just laid another wreath at that memorial.